Growing a team takes work. It's a bit different than simply outsourcing and expecting the work to be completed by the third party with little involvement. Have you ever hired that person, whether they are employee or contractor, and felt that they're not delivering as you had hoped, or it started great and then it started fading? What about that team member who constantly creates their own fire and it doesn't have to be that way? If you've begun growing your own team, then this video is for you. How to lead as a CEO and also creating the ideal boundaries in your leadership. So stay tuned and we'll cover some points that will change the way you lead. Hey CEOs, welcome back to my channel, the best place for creative CEOs, consultants, and contractors. If you're brand new here, I'm Teresa, Operations Consultant behind LoopLink, and I'm here to help you complete the loop in your business operations and expand your agency with excellence. One of the ways that I help you do that is by helping you shift from a CEO-dependent to a systems-dependent operation by leveraging your technology, techniques, and team. If you stay with me, we're going to be walking through the topic that is near and dear to my heart. Boundaries in leadership that helps you think like a CEO. It's about having the ability to lead and motivate others in your business. Boundaries are important because they set the basic guidelines to protect yourself from the different elements that you will experience along the business growth and also as a person. It gives the guiding principle on how the organization should engage together as a unit and individually. It's the invisible line on the border that separates physical space, emotions, and expectations. Boundaries become more essential as you continue to step into your CEO role. Having healthy boundaries not only continues to let you own your own power, but empowers positivity and productivity. As business owners and as a leader on the go, it's very easy for us to prioritize everything in the business and not enough on ourselves. Lack of boundaries is the leading cause to burnout, major conflicts, personally and professionally, and it impacts the company culture and productivity. So with that being said, when should you be creating boundaries for yourself in your business? The answer is that there's never a time too late, regardless if you had dire circumstances that has already happened. In those cases, take it as learning lessons and an opportunity for improvement. Don't resent it for happening, but thank it for giving you the insight that you otherwise would never have had. If you are ready to begin building boundaries in your leadership, there are three main areas that should be considered if you want to grow as an effective leader and what you need in order to think like a CEO. So step one, boundaries around time. The one thing I remind my CEOs all the time is that no matter how many hats they wear, they have the same amount of time as everyone else. We can't make 30 hours out of 24. I used to be, and still in some cases, are involved in every single process of my business, from accepting calls to completing the $10 tasks in my business and attending to every single email. I would be working on weekends because I felt that it would be getting me ahead. I would be taking on extra projects because I thought that it would further my reach to my goals. I would be saying yes to every single collaboration request and overcommitting myself and my team to meeting and exceeding delivery goals that could have been extended over a longer period of time. This not only created chaos within myself, but my own team, and it led to breakdown in communication, fatigue, and exhaustion that really impacted my leadership. It was really hard to take ownership of that and to really step back. But when I did, I honored my boundaries around time, and it lessened stress. It increased productivity and protected the values, the vision, and the mission of the business. And as a leader, I also have begun empowering my own team to create strong time boundaries so that they too can ensure that they are taken care of and that we are candid in our conversation and communication to ensure that we aren't simply saying yes to please others, but to set realistic expectations around how much we can actually accomplish with time. Benjamin Franklin once said, "Time is money." As you continue to grow as a CEO and lead your team, the only people who you will want to invest your time in mostly is with your team so that you can begin to grow it beyond yourself and also as well your clients. But we'll get to that next. Now, because you are in essence somewhat replicating yourself, your team will be the extension of yourself to your customers, audience, and community. For anyone else who reaches out to you, set boundaries around how much time you are freely giving or spending. This applies to the people who want to simply pick your brain and gain your knowledge and experience for free. Many consultants at a later stage in their business journey will begin charging for demos or consult calls because they have understood the value of their time. For those who are thinking differently and still wanting to give time, you can still apply boundaries around that. For example, if you give 20 minutes of free consult calls, make sure that you stick to those 20 minutes. If you go over, invite them to a paid consultation. The best way to approach that is to be able to systematize that process and streamline that by making sure you have a form or a script to stay on. I will try to have a maximum of 3 coffee chats a month, under 20 minutes for each meeting. This allows me to continue to build relationships and remains as a core aspect of my values. Financial boundaries aren't only effective around your time, but also with your services and products. You will have those folks who will reach out and try to secure a discount or additional bonuses within your services and products. And unless if you know them and have aligned values, those are likely going to be people who infringe upon your boundaries as a leader once they enroll in your services, because then it's going to have a trickle effect to your team. So you'll want to uphold your boundaries and continue to enlighten them with the value that they would receive at that financial level. The next area is around communication boundaries. Now, firecracker. That was a term that I will never forget because this is how it was described of a leader of mine when he used to storm into our office and just went down a massive rabbit hole in trying to secure a piece of information and left a wake of emotional destruction in his path. My manager spent the rest of the day trying to settle our nerves and realign our focus. The biggest impact? Our level of productivity. Unfortunately, I too have also done this same leading of my own team in my own business. And this is one of the hardest boundaries to apply. But once it's in place and exercised, you will see consistent productivity, efficiency, and effectiveness. It's not perfect, but it's always what we endeavor. In your charged up moments, check within yourself to see what is the emotional climate that you are setting. A wrong approach to communication can crush unity and confidence in a moment. And so, as a leader, you always want to make sure that 1, you'll be heading through the right communication channels first, especially if you have managers in your business or organization. And secondly, to check your approach. Always begin with asking and seek understanding. On the other hand, you can also apply healthy boundaries within client communication. Throughout the course of your business journey, you will always have needy clients who constantly reach out and sometimes may be messaging you on multiple channels over the same thing. Clearly communicating your boundaries at the beginning of your engagement will activate trust in the partnership. I always provide a welcome package to my clients during the onboarding process, which clearly outlines the hours I will be available and when they can expect a response from me. And usually it's within 24 hours, or if on weekends, it will be responded to the next business day. Now, that's also the same methodology I also apply to my team members as well. And I also encourage them to also apply to me. Unless if we are on a tight time crunch and a wrap-up mission, we will always try and honor the communication boundaries with each other. Those are the top 3 main areas within leadership that you can begin integrating healthy boundaries around. Now, the question is, how can you get started with applying the boundaries as a leader? The answer is to start small. If you have an existing team, start conversations with your team members. Get to understand their boundaries before you begin communicating yours. Leverage team meetings to share about the new boundaries that will be presented and get a buy-in. You'll also want to allow time for your team members to get familiar with the boundaries. Most of all, be clear about what the boundaries are and the tangible outlooks of them. Of course, there are going to be exceptions, so outline when it's okay to seek permission to cross those boundaries. Each boundary should also come with a consequence, so that way it can be enforceable, such as violations that will result in retraining or dismissal. And lastly, don't feel guilty about having boundaries as a leader. Having strong boundaries at the end of the day will empower your team to reach their goals and also allow your team to focus more, improve productivity, and scale their confidence in their creativity and work with your business. Now you know how to set healthy boundaries in your CEO leadership. Remember that the biggest boundaries you should have is around your CEO time. Don't infringe on your own boundaries. In our SOP Success Lab membership, we help CEOs construct strong boundaries around their time through our monthly CEO planning days. And so if you need that additional support, you'll want to check it out in the description link below. What kind of boundaries do you have existing in your leadership? Which new boundaries are you excited to implement? Leave the feedback in the comments section below. Make sure you check out our SOP Success Lab. If this video was helpful, be sure to subscribe, share it with your friend, and hit the like button so I know to make more videos like this. I'm Teresa Beretta, Operations Coach Consultant, and I'll see you in the next one.